San Francisco 49ers quarterback went out against the Bucks and put up a perfect passer rating. It's the first time any 49ers quarterback has done this since 1989, and it was two quarterbacks that particular year. Joe Montana, Steve Young. That's how long it's been since Brock Purdy or another 49ers quarterback has been able to put up a perfect passer rating. Well, Christian McCaffrey was asked about Brock Purdy's performance after the game, but he was also asked about Brock Purdy's doubters and critics. And in this 1 minute clip from Christian McCaffrey, he does a phenomenal job of basically eviscerating any type of critic or doubter that might be coming after Brock Purdy. Take a listen to what he had to say, courtesy of KMBR, right here.
About Brock, though, they always say Brock did this, but how can you do much better than a perfect passer rating today?
Dang, he had a perfect passer rating?
First in franchise history.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. He's a baller, man. He's a baller. I think that's because that's a good defense, too, so that doesn't shock me, but that is impressive. So I'm happy for him.
That bomb to Ayuk there, if anyone was critical of his arm strength, I mean, does that kind of silence some critics there?
There's always going to be critics. He knows that. Everybody in here knows that. And I like when he plays a little bit edgy with a chip on his shoulder. I kind of hope the critics just keep coming because it pisses him off. He plays really well.
How much did you enjoy that play?
Criticism for Brock right now is that his teammates are doing all the work. Sometimes they'll say, well, it's just because Christian McCaffrey's on the team. But what's your opinion of that?
That's a horrendous statement. That's never been the case. You could make that argument with any quarterback ever. I can show you the tape if we really sit down and watch it of all the amazing throws, amazing plays, off-schedule plays, checks that he's getting to. It starts with him.
First things first, I love that he acknowledges that critics piss off Brock Purdy. Now, we've heard from Brock, and he's, he's a very diplomatic quarterback. He's not going to give weight or credit to anything outside this organization. It's just not going to happen. However, I do feel like Christian McCaffrey kind of like sheds a little bit of light on the situation of like, well, Brock does hear the critics and it pisses him off, and it actually kind of puts a chip on his shoulder. So I like that. I didn't, I don't know how Brock was taking this stuff. I didn't know how Brock was reacting to people constantly. Like just last week, we posted it to the channel. Nick Wright made this huge proclamation that Baker Mayfield was a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. And what did Brock Purdy go out and do? Put up a perfect passer rating, 333 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the Bucs defense. And Baker looked like Baker. He's good, but he's not great. And, they didn't win the game. So and then on top of that, Christian McCaffrey goes on to talk about, like he, in so many words, just said, watch the tape. And I think that's one of the biggest indications of anyone who has an agenda against Brock Purdy is that at this particular point in time, if you are continuing to carry out an agenda against Brock Purdy, you just don't actually watch football. Like there's a difference between watching football and then going back and studying it. And at this point, we're not even sure if they're just watching it or if they're just maintaining the agenda that they've set out for themselves. But effectively of what Christian McCaffrey says is watch the tape. If you go through and you watch how Brock Purdy is successful, it's really easy to see that he is going beyond his teammates and scheme. This is, in fact, what I spoke about on the post-game show. I said that Brock Purdy is elevating the offense. That wouldn't be the case if it was the other way around. It would be the offense is elevating Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy's elevating the offense. He's taking the offense to new levels. He's playing outside of structure. He's doing the things that he needs to do to be a good to great quarterback. So I love what Christian McCaffrey had to say. And you know what? I I like talking about the people who seem to have it out against Brock Purdy. This started in training camp. Um, and the same people are still perpetuating the same things. And so at this particular point, just I would say keep the same energy. You know, y- any apology or you know what, my take back then wasn't all that good and I've seen the light now. Nah. You stay over there. You can stay over there. Like, listen, I understand. My takes change from time to time. Because I do take in new information, things do evolve, and as a result, so should your opinions. Um, but we know what's an opinion and what's just agenda push. And if you're an agenda pusher, nope, stick with your agenda over there in the corner where no one wants to hang out with you. I'm having too much fun with this. Can't you tell? Shout out to KMBR for the video. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey. Shout out to Brock Purdy. And you already know what to do. Sunday night, Victory Monday tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe for more updates.